Hey everyone, welcome back to the shop. I hope everyone's doing great. I am finally less sick. Still working on some blood nose, but I was really sick the last about week or so. So I apologize for the delay and getting back to you guys. But I wanted to finish up the trunk on the Miata and some of the stuff that I did while I had a little bit of scope creep, but not too much. But I did some of the other stuff while I was doing the strut assist. I did some other stuff. I also cleaned up some of the battery wiring that I had originally done way back when I don't even remember, probably 8 or 9 years ago, when I originally did the battery maintainer for the NOCO for this car. The wiring was the only wire I had was actually very short, and it came in and it actually came across the top of the battery, which made it difficult to take the battery in and out of the car because the positive terminal was kind of, you had to get it up out of the way and wiggle and finesse. So anyway, now that I have wiring and we have the new quick release terminals in there, which I'll show you, we'll go in the trunk here in a few. I ran new wire through some wire loom back to the terminals. It's a little bit longer, but it's a much cleaner, much nicer excuse me, much nicer setup. It sounds like I need another hit of Rockstar that I'm also not sponsored by. Mm. So the other thing I did was back here, and I'll turn the light on because you can kind of see it back here. There is a panel that covers, there's a panel that covers the fill tube and the vent tube for the Miata gas tank, which is actually right back here behind the driver's seat on the package tray. The fill tube, there's a panel that goes right here, and it's actually just galvanized steel. It's just sheet metal. I think it's 20 gauge. Not very thick, nothing very fancy about it, very simple. It's not coated, not painted, not cleared, nothing. So when I pulled that off to add the strut in here, I decided, hey, I could throw a couple of coats of primer on there and throw some regular gloss black paint, because pretty much everything else in the trunk is gloss black, except for that one panel. And I couldn't figure out why it wasn't gloss black. I'm guessing just because they decided to save money. I don't know. So I wanted to get this stuff in there, get the spare tire back in there, all of that. But I wanted to do that with you guys. And I wanted to show you one of the cool things. We'll start on this side, because I wanted to show you a cool trick with regards to wiring and how you can make wiring sort of stay put. And now there's a lot of different things. You can have zip ties that have push mounts in them, and they'll stay put, and then your wire stays wherever it goes. You can use a really good one is like body panel mounting, or like seam sealer is another one. You can just take a pinky fold, put it on the back of the wire strip, and stick it to the body, and it's going to stay there. Panel bond is really good for that. Seam sealer is really good for that, and it's going to stay there forever and ever and ever and ever. And some of the urethane is flexible, so if you need the wiring to flex a little bit, that's fine. Something that I use that I really like, I can use regular silicone, which is great because it's also very flexible and it's also very grippy. But when you go to take it apart, if you have to pull something apart or redo some wiring, it's kind of a mess to get that silicone done. So what we're going to do, and this is a cool trick, and I'll show you why. It's a regular glue gun. This is made by Bauer. This is a Harbor Freight glue gun. It's not very expensive. We have a nice battery on here. But the cool part is we have black glue. And since we have all gloss black in here, we're going to stick with the gloss blue theme, or gloss black theme. And who's here? Oh, hey, Denise. So we're going to do gloss black. Now, here comes the fun part. If you have a car that's a different color than black, which I know is weird for someone like me, you can do stuff like this. And I just got these today. You can get glue sticks in a whole bunch of different colors. So if you have a, orange car or a white car or a blue car where your body panels are painted, you can actually do glue stick to match. It's about 15 bucks, and this is probably going to last me 10 years, maybe even longer. And these things don't expire. So these are handy to have if you're trying to do stuff to match, red or yellow or brown. And there's some blacks and whites in here. So the regular clear is great too. There's nothing wrong with that. And the black ones, I have a bunch of black ones. But these are your regular craft. These are AdTech crystal clear, but they actually dry white. And those are normal ones. And again, this is going to last me a really, really, really long time. So we keep the colored glue sticks for fun stuff. If we're doing specific wiring, if we want something to show up as positive, we can use the red just to extra highlight to, for safety's sake, or, use the red glue to mark that it's power, that it's hot, whatever. Same thing with black. Hey, this is definitely ground. But in this case, we're just using it to match the body paint color. So I'm going to grab the camera and I'm going to bring you guys into this corner. Let me get the light set up so I can see what the hell I'm doing. Still have some stuff in here. So move all of my other stuff. And with glue guns, with this one in particular, it's red when it's not ready, and it's green when it is ready. And you pull the trigger, and there you go. I should probably do it on this side so you guys can see it. A little bit of black is going to drop right out of there. Now, the nice part about this, hot glue is actually very easy to work with. Once it dries, you can peel it off stuff. If there is some kind of sealant or something on it, like on concrete and stuff, it'll peel up sealant. So be careful with that. But for the most part, it's pretty innocuous. Don't get it on your hands. If you want to, you can use gloves. And it does get stringy. So when you do apply it, make sure you've taken into account that last pump, and then you can sort of figure eight it and pull it back. So let me get you guys over here and see. Of course, that grips even tighter when I try to move it, right? So I'm going to bring you guys behind me so I can set up the shot. Oh my God, such acrobatics. All right. Okay. So I'm going to try and keep you guys with me here. If he'll stay tilted, sort of, he's kind of stable right there. I don't think I have enough length here. Hang on. Maybe. If he'll stay put, that would be really nice. I doubt he will, though. Okay. We're balanced on all this stuff. This is stupid. This is why you need a camera operator, because someone can actually come in here and hold this instead of you trying to figure out how to mount it to get the best shot. So I'm going to show you guys where I'm going to do it. I'm going to do a little bit back here, and also where it does the corner up in here. You can also see our negative battery terminal And just up here behind the light is our positive. And this is our battery maintainer that goes all the way around. And this is our original insulation. And I can smell that hot glue from here. So I'm trying to get the snot out of my nose so it doesn't end up in the shot. And I'm going to apply furthest away first. And of course, I have optimized where the light is so that my hand blocks all of the light where I'm trying to actually do this work. The other cool part is that you can do this and then you can come back to it a little while later and do a second shot on top of the original. Once again, I've managed to put the light exactly where my hand is. Now this stuff is really runny. You can see it running down there, I think, maybe. If I bring you guys in here, you can see it. It's a little runny. That's okay. And you still get a minute or two, maybe 30 seconds to, move it into place. And that's all it takes. That's it. So if you want to, you can come back and hit that a second time if you really want to. I might come back over to that one and just add a little bit in the back. This one seems fine. So set this down and come back. And again, make sure that light is nowhere near in the open. So I can totally miss where I'm trying to be incredibly accurate. That's tough, Nice part about this glue too is that it is self-leveling, which is kind of cool. And if I do need to remove this for any reason, it's really easy to peel this up and to peel that up. But now you can see that's a pretty solid connection there. That wire's not gonna come loose from there. Where are you? Right back. I have to turn 180 degrees. So yeah, that wire's not coming loose. And this guy, he's not coming loose either. And we matched our gloss black. So not too bad, right? This tripod is kind of a joke. And leaning over is so difficult. So, because what I don't want to do is just drop snot right in front of you guys. Not cool, not sexy, not car related. So, since we have that, and we'll just give it a minute to dry here. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to put the battery back in here. So, actually, we're going to do that last because when I put the battery back in, the light on the trunk is going to come on and we're going to wear down the battery. So what we'll do is we'll come over to this side. I'll turn the light on over here. And this will be a little bit easier. So here we have our filler neck. This is where our gas comes in from our gas can. And then our vent tube, which is any kind of overflow or anything. And what's really nice is you have the build date of your car right there. So I'm not sure if it'll stop down far enough to see that. Let me try here. there's the build date on my car. February 16th. I think that's, no, May. I can't read it. 5/16. So May 16th is the birthday of my car, which is kind of cool. My phone is dinging. Make sure we don't have any kind of emergency here. Nope. Okay, good. So, oh my God. Again, I'm just trying not to snot on you guys, I swear. So there's a panel that goes across here, and we took it out to add our strut. This is our helper strut. You can see how he works to open the, keep the trunk open when you have a heavy wing. The one thing I did is I added a piece of rubber right here on the top, because this hook you have to leave here. He's riveted in, and you have to leave him here, which I'm not really hot on, but that's how they say to do it. So I added a piece of rubber here because he hits on this edge very sharply. So just trying to take some of the strain off of that. So all of this got wiped down and cleaned out, blown out, vacuumed out. And let's get that panel. And you can see this is actually a really nice gloss right here. That's reflecting very nicely. So let me grab the panel, which is over here. And this is not polished or sanded and whatever. This is all very basic. This is the panel that covers all that up. This is, again, very basic. Here's the inside, you guys can see. This is just gloss black spray paint. This is 2 coats of primer and 2 coats. 2 coats of primer, 3 coats of gloss black. And he goes right there. And there are 4 bolts that keep him in. There's 1, 2. Of course, you guys can't see that because that carpet's in the way. 2, 3, and then there's a 4th one over here. There we go. So 1, 2, 3, and 4 right here. Sometimes when you do this strut, they talk about this opening needs to get bent back. Fortunately on mine, it doesn't. I did a little test fit before I did any painting. So he does not need to get adjusted. We have our 4 bolts here. 1, 2, 3, 4. And these are all 10 mil. Oh, that looks really funny with my arm like that. So I'm just going to start these guys. That one has a little tight thread on there. Where? All right. Of course. Of course. He has to be difficult, right? All right. So we're going to have to do this a little different. We're going to have to do that guy first. Oh my God. Hopefully you guys don't hear me sniffling like crazy. Oh my God. All right. Oh. I'm trying not to bonk into you guys. This is one of the drain tubes. So, there we go. All right. Now we come back. That guy is lined up. Line up the ones we can, right? All right. This does take a little flexing. But it does go. And I think that looks a little bit better. I'm going to zoom out here in a second. I do all this stuff like left-handed, no leverage, balancing on one foot. In this case, one ass cheek. It would actually be more comical to watch me than it would be educational to watch how to do this. Holy crap. I got to bring you guys out. So we're going to come out and I'm going to put you on the back on the laptop again. And then bring you around here. So you have a little bit better shot. There we go. Does that look a little bit better? So we just have our 10 mil. Again, you do not have to crank these down. You're not holding an engine block together. Let's go finger tight and a quarter turn. If you want to, you can blue Loctite them. Not a requirement. But again, that's why I'm using, this little tiny ratchet, because there's no reason to super duper torque these at all. I'm trying to keep my head up so that I don't drown. Okay. There we go. And we'll double check because we have OCD. Ta-da, there's our panel. This panel was silver. Now it's all black. And actually looks okay like that. Oh my God. So there's our panel. And now we can put our carpet back. By the way, if you're ever looking for the jack and lug nut wrench on a Miata, it's in the trunk here in the back corner. So we can move this light. This is the little carpet cover with the fiber board to give it some structure. He goes right there and he rests. Oh, the hell is that? What the hell was that? We're going to wipe that down. All right. So that's our cover there. Now, the other cool part is we have, that's why I'm like, oh, well, why would you paint that? Because it's also covered by carpet. Well, it is. And here's the carpet that covers it. It goes in a very specific way. So it does go like this. And he's got 1, 2, 3, I think 3 push pins. And you can kind of see where they are. 1, 2. Where's the third one? I thought I saw 3. 1, 2 push pins. Oh, there's a third one over here that goes into the side there. Okay. And so we have 1, 2, and then we have the stuff. We have to make sure these line up. So again, I painted that piece really nice black, but now you can't even see it, right? So that's how it goes. So this will actually go underneath all of this carpet. There we go. There we go. Okay, just blind myself with that. So there we go. Super clean, super nice. It looks great. Let's get those push pins. 1, 2, 3. And these are our standard. You push them in from here and they spread open. Sometimes you have more damaged ones and you want to hide those versus the nicer ones. And the trick to pushing those back in is just kind of wiggle them. Make sure the insert is out as far as possible. And then kind of wiggle them into place. So you want to get all 3 prongs behind that panel. And then you just push the center cap in. This one is going to be a pain in the ass because he is all the way back here. Where is he? Right there. Oh, believe it or not, he was the easiest one of all. So now we have all of our carpet back. We have 3 more pieces that we took out, and this is for the jack handle. This is the jack handle. And we took that out when we went to paint this. So we got to remember how that guy goes back in there. He goes back in like so, correct? So we want one like that, and then one. These guys are all the same. So how does it go? So he goes sideways. How does that work? No, he's going to go. No, they're very specific. Okay. So this guy goes up, I think. This guy goes sideways, I think. Or does he go up? Oh, he does. Okay. So this guy obviously goes up 2. And then this guy, he goes that way. And there we go. Okay. So now we have our jack handle back in. That's it. We're done on this side. It sucks that we totally covered up that panel, but it's nice to know that it's protected, right? So, all right, I need a second here just to tilt my head back. Oh, man. All right. Now we can get to work on the other side here. So Give me a second here. Ooh. Oh my gosh. Let's grab our battery since we're up. He's been on the maintainer since we started doing this. And he's got a full green light. So that is a very good sign. Let's get him over here. Now, Miatas take different batteries than most cars. Miatas take a very small battery. This is kind of a lawnmower battery. Now, the one thing I do want to do on this is you can see the terminals aren't marked with a color. So I'm going to grab my red paint pen for measuring. And on the positive terminal, I'm just going to give him a little bit of red here. Just makes it easier to see. Does not take much. There we go. There we go. You know what? Let's add a little red dot of paint right in here. Yeah, there we go. That'll help too. A little bit of ID goes a long way. And I know these lights are just blowing out this camera. This camera doesn't stop down very far. Sorry about that. It does a lot of other cool shit, but it does not stop down very far. So, I'm going to bring you guys over. I'm going to flip you around to where I'm currently sitting. This is the one thing I don't like is this edge for this carpet doesn't stay in the back very well. Oh my God. Okay. Yeah. So give me a second. I'm going to flip you guys around. Okay. Okay. And hopefully you can still see everything that we're doing in here. Let me get some light over there. I think that battery's about to die. Yep. By about to die, I mean die. Oh. So Miata uses an old-fashioned J-hook hold down. This guy goes in here, depending on the size of your battery. There's a couple of different options. He gets held down, and then there's a J-hook right here that goes down, hooks in there, and gets tightened that way. It's a very simple setup. A long time ago, oh God, you guys, I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. That is not classy. That is not sexy. And we're going to have to go weird for a minute just so I can breathe and maybe not worry for a minute. Anyway, all right. So this is the new look. Anyway, a long time ago, I added this foam pad in here to prevent the battery from sliding around because it was just metal. And the battery sort of formed to that. And it's also built up kind of a wall right here, which is kind of cool. So we're going to add the battery. Now, also, remember I told you about the maintainer? The maintainer has new wiring that comes up and goes all the way around, comes to the positive up here, which is nice. And then it goes to the negative terminal right back here, which is also nice. I really like how that wiring came out, because now these are very freed up and the battery is out of the way until, or the connectors are out of the way until you get the battery in there. I really, really like that part. So I'm going to stand up to do this so I have leverage. I love that part. This is where it gets a little weird, because you have to turn that in there for it to grab the battery correctly. Now, it's not going to grab the battery in the center. I suppose it could if you moved things, but since I have everything towards this edge, it's going to be closer to this edge. And since I'm trying to do all this left-handed in the dark, he's going to be closer to this edge. There we go. Now, I can bring this guy, open him up, get the positive my gosh. Okay, there we go. I think he's on there. I can't really tell. And when we do this, we're going to have the overhead light come on. So again, I'm trying not to spark myself or anything like that. So, there we go. Awesome. I think, yeah. Can this guy get seated anymore? He's all the way down, I think. And I'm about to lose it on this stool. The stool's about to eject me. So, sorry. This is, you can kind of cheat with this if you really want to. No, I can't really cheat. I'll do it the right way. So we have two nuts and a washer. One is your tie down nut. The other one is a lock nut. Washer is just to apply pressure. Comes up through the bottom. Now you can do your J hook from either the inside or the outside. But the one thing I've never understood is why these damn things are so long. Because they think this J hook can absolutely be trimmed down. And I think I will one of these days, just because having 2 inches of thread is entirely unnecessary. So, where the hell was that guy for? I don't remember where that guy goes. Here's our lock nut. These guys are not 1/2 inch. Are they 3/8? Nope. Ooh. So we want it locked down tight enough where the J hook doesn't move anymore, but we also don't want to split open the battery case, and we don't want to flex this hold down too much. Now, technically, I could have gone to the lower hold down here, but of course I can't see that. I'm actually okay with that one. If I need to change it, I will. I'm okay with it right now. So we have our washer on there and our tie down nut. our captive nut, and then we have our lock nut here, our captive nut. Seem to remember that guy goes here somewhere. So he goes right there is where that guy goes. I knew he was back here somewhere. We had him off for some reason I don't remember. But he's back on now. And now we can also 7/16 crank this down. Now we have our battery mounted. It is extremely secure. We can do, we're done with our wrenches. We can take our wrenches out of here. The last thing we need to do is add our spare tire. And we have our spare tire over here. So I'm going to set these to the side. And I'm going to bring this back over to the opposite side. So yeah, you can see this carpet keeps coming up. He's supposed to be under this edge, but also for me leaning on it and doing stuff here, it's having a tough time. So he might get some double stick tape or maybe just some hot glue, just some touch up right there to keep him in line, keep him in place. So yeah, let's do the spare tire. Now the Miata has a, oh, you guys, so many millipedes here. The Miata has a regular size spare, although it is kind of a donutty. It's very thin, but it is, yeah, it's a donut spare, whatever. And I painted this so I have a little protective wax here because also it started to rust stain the carpet. So we're going to put this guy back in place. It doesn't really matter which way he goes. He's kind of ambidextrous as far as I can tell. I don't think there's a, yeah. And I can't do this from the stool, so I'm sorry. I'm going to block you guys. He's going to go right there. And then we have our tie down. Pretty simple bolt washer. Oh, okay. That was a lot louder than I wanted it to be. Oh, you know what? Before we do this, let's add our other piece of carpet because we have to snap that in place. This is our battery cover. Oh, that's why that guy came off. Now I remember, because we have this tab. So I'll grab that 10 mil. So this is our battery cover. He goes right here, and one of these snaps is actually under the spare tire. So I'm going to do him up quick before we crank down the spare tire. And then I need my 10 mil back so that, I love this little wrench. I can get this tab attached. And you can tell that that J-hook adds absolutely unnecessary height to this. So we should probably trim that down. I don't know why I never trim that down, but I never did. So shame on me. Okay. So there we go. We have spare tire back in. We have our cover back on. We have all of our carpeting back in place and covers. Yeah, this is the only reason this is so high and not seating back is because the J hook is so tall. So we'll get rid of that J hook. Not get rid of it, but we'll trim it down. Our trunk is all carpeted again. It's all super clean. Vacuumed out, blown out, all of that. And we have our strut helper too, which is really cool. So we can do this. He won't stay there, which is pretty cool. But he will stay right there for a second. So yeah, everything's back in, and yeah, I gotta do some kind of maybe some hot glue or something on this to keep that carpet edge in because he doesn't want to stay in there. Put some tools away. 10 mil goes back. And that is it for the trunk. We put our cleaning supplies and stuff back in here. Make sure we don't have any extra spiders. Nothing like a surprise huntsman to kind of ruin your drive, right? Big mama jammas. Actually, don't even know why I have that pad in there. How do we do this? Yeah, it was like this. And then someone's weird glasses. We had our cleaner. And then our rags. There we go. Trunk is back to 100%. And let's do one more test here just to make sure that I haven't tested the wiring yet, so this will actually be a pretty good test for it. Grab the maintainer, the correct maintainer. Bring it over, undo that. We don't need this. We do need a power cord. So we have power. Let's see if we have power. Well, we obviously have power there. Oh, that's a nice connection. And our Genius did not show fault. It actually showed that it is juicing up the battery. So that's, oh, it's still going. So that means we have a pretty full battery. Hopefully you guys can see that. Bring it a little bit closer. Noco's going. There we go. So, oh yeah, it's full. I'm just gonna let it ride. So in the trunk, I have an LED light for the overhead in the trunk for up here. It's one of the few, actually, I have a bunch of LEDs in here, but it's weird. You have to be very careful with LEDs. It'll turn off the cruise control. I know that's weird, but it happens. So, oh, you know what? There should be a push pin here. There's one over here. There's one here. Yeah, I'm missing a push pin on this side. That's why. Okay. So we can close our trunk. And then I'll show you guys how nice it is, how nice it opens now. Look at that. That's how quick the Noco does it. So super excited. And look at that. That's so awesome. Sorry. I know that's gross as hell. Yeah, why would you stay put? You should just rotate randomly. So doesn't take much to close it. It's not very difficult. And then you'll notice it goes really quick, and then the last couple of inches it goes slow. That's very slick. Very happy with that. So Miata. Very nice. Very content with that. Very happy with Miata stuff. Whoa. Let's bring you guys back over here. See if I can put stuff more in the way of the gear. So that's it. Trunk on the Miata is super happy. My shirt's being pulled in 14 different directions. So that's it. Miata's 100% good. We like how the trunk turned out. We like how that strut, that helper, pneumatic helper turned out. And so now that fall is here, we can do a lot more top-down stuff with the Miata. It never stopped us before. We were still doing top-down stuff with the Miata. You know, it's one of those things you down here, you keep doing top-down stuff. I let go of it and it just rotates. It's like you can stop rotating. So yeah, that's it. It looks like I'm underwater here too. I appreciate you guys hanging out tonight. I know it was weird with the camera inside the trunk and it not just the little tripod is not very good with that camera. So I apologize for that. I appreciate you sticking it out. Hopefully you liked the color. Whoa. The colored glue trick and using that to keep electrical lines and other stuff. It also works good for like fuel lines if you want to keep stuff separated. So if you have fuel lines that are kind of together and vibrating, you can actually use like 2 popsicle sticks or whatever and then do hot glue and then take the popsicle sticks out and the hot glue will keep them away from each other. So you can use it as a spacer too. But run, little tiny beetle. Little beetle just bucking across the ground. There's a lot of bugs here, man. A lot of bugs. So if you guys have any questions, anything about the Miata, please let me know. I'm happy to answer them for you. We finally got the suspension dialed in, exactly where we're at. I'm about 1/4, 3/8 higher on the driver's side to accommodate for my weight. So we've got it fairly balanced. Engine's running great. I've got another probably 2,000 miles before an oil change, but we'll be driving it a bunch this weekend. We're going up to Freedom Factory on Saturday for the Danger Ranger 500 and the Altima 600. And yeah, we'll be doing a ton more stuff in the Miata. So, and in the Viper and with the truck. The limo is going to come back in here. Since we're done with the Miata, the limo is going to come back in here tomorrow. We'll be doing a lot more limo stuff here on the channel. And again, if there's something you guys want to see either on the Viper or on the Miata or on the limo, the motorcycles, if you want to see something on the Grom, let me know. Or if there's something you want to see on the truck, we got to do fuel filters and oil change on the truck. It's crying. It keeps telling me whenever I started, it's like, you know, service due soon. I was like, okay, I'll get to it. So we'll be doing oil oil, filter, and fuel filters on the truck soon. That's part of the diesel maintenance on it. Um, yeah, and like I said, if you guys have any questions, comments, whatever, and thank you to all the new subscribers. You guys are great. I really appreciate it. Um, I've seen a bunch of new subscribers in the last couple of weeks, and I'm glad you guys are digging this. Like I said, I don't get paid anything for this, so that means you guys are liking it, and I'm going to keep doing it as long as I can. So as long as you guys keep liking it, I'm going to keep doing it, and and I appreciate you guys watching. I really do. Just hearing back from you guys, like, hey, I liked what you did with this, or hey, you know. I wired up my relays the same way you did, and they worked perfect. That pays me more than anything YouTube could ever pay me. So I appreciate that, and yeah, keep it coming. So I'm gonna go do some Dayquil and hopefully drain this out or dry this out, I should say. And yeah, if you guys have any questions, whatever, let me know. I answer everyone. You guys know that already. So everyone have a fantastic night. We're trudging towards the weekend. We're getting closer, and we'll take the Miata out, and we'll have a really, really good time. So it's supposed to be gorgeous this weekend, like absolutely gorgeous. So going to take advantage of that. And don't forget to show someone that you love them today. Give me a kiss on the cheek. Give me a kiss on the tip of their nose. Hold their hand. Give it a squeeze. It's really important for them, but it is far more important for you. All right. Thanks, everyone. We will talk to you. Let's work on the limo tomorrow. Okay. I'll bring the limo in here. We'll get some stuff done on it. All right. Thanks, everyone. Have an awesome night. We'll talk to you soon. Woo! Oh, wipe out.